Hello everybody! Today we are going to conquer one of the places that are considered the biggest barriers for beginners, the F barrier. This is where a lot of people stop playing the guitar when they get to that F chord that has the bar finger in it. What we're going to do today, I'm going to show you 6 super helpful tips that are going to make you conquer not just the F chord, but any other bar chord you will want to play. For example, bar chords, so far we have been playing the F sometimes like this, which is sort of cheating because the full F chord sounds like this. It has the full bar chord, and also when you research a bit more, you can see that for each chord that we have been playing here, you can play it in dozens of different versions all over the fretboard. For example, this is the E, we know. This is also an E. This is also an E. This is also an E. And we can play it in other inversions all over the fretboard. And why do we want to do that? Because it gives you different voicings, different sounds, stuff that you'll want to play with. Besides that, you obviously also have chords besides those E and different versions that you have no other options but to use a bar to play them. For example, C sharp minor, G sharp, and on and on. Anyway, let's get practical. So the first tip I can give you, just like with any other chords, is when you reach the F chord or any other bar chord, we'll show it on the F though, test the strings one by one to see what rings and what doesn't. For example, if you hear there is a buzz or the 4th string is not moving, you will know that you have to fix the problem that is causing it. That's the first one. Always work with that in mind. The second one, now we're getting actually to the bar, is look at my finger. Your finger should be close to the fret, very close to the fret, but not right on it, because if it is right on it, there won't be any sound. But if it's right next to it, as opposed to, for example, in the middle of the fret where it will be harder, if it's right next to it, it's a combination of the easiest way to do it, and obviously it's going to be clean. Which brings us also to the next point, which is your index finger, your bar finger, should be tilted to the side a little bit. Look at how my finger is a bit tilted, as opposed to, for example, trying to play with it totally or almost straight. It's just going to be harder for you. So make sure your finger is a bit tilted. The next one is about your thumb. A lot of people, when they start playing bar chords, they don't really know what to do with the thumb, and they don't realize that the thumb could really help them. For example, if you won't use the thumb at all, it will be much harder to get a clean sound, or if you won't use it smartly. But look at this. If on, for example, an E chord, the thumb is here and we're really warping it up, warping the back of the neck, so look where it moves to on an F chord. It gives us some counter power from behind. Again, open chord, another open chord, and then look where my thumb is on the F chord. The next one is another super important tip that might work against your first intuition, but pay attention to it. Look at my wrist. The next one is simply roll your wrist down. Let it roll down with how it wants to roll down. I'll give you an example. When I play an open chord, usually my wrist, my arm, and my hand would be pretty much in line. But when you want to play a bar chord, look what happens. When you play it correctly, when the thumb is in the right place, you have to roll your wrist down a little bit and check it out. Have a look at how it looks like. That's how you want your wrist to look like. All right, and the last tip that will really let you conquer the F chord easily is to practice it with key number 5. And this is the chord reset. Because if you're going to play the F, reset, F, reset, F, reset, I'm reminding you, in case you haven't been using that technique up until now, first of all, it is amazing for any chord. I use it myself on new chords that I learned today. But especially on bar chords, which might feel less natural, this exercise is amazing. Another cool thing that bar chords open for you is the strum block technique. What do I mean by that? This is something that is very liked by Jack Johnson, for example. It means that instead of playing something like this, you can add those blocks just by loosening up the whole chord a little bit. So that's it. That's really how you conquer that F chord barrier, and you will conquer it. I will see you in the next lesson. Goodbye.